Crash and Burn, the Kathleen Kennedy story. Let's watch this. Let's see this.
Kathleen Kennedy. If ever there was a name synonymous with the destruction of pop culture franchises, the humiliation
This fucking bitch. This bitch killed Star Wars.
of beloved legacy characters, creative mismanagement, missed opportunities, and the unwelcome injection of the message into modern entertainment, it's this one woman. Yeah, other people have arguably committed worse crimes against cinema, but Kennedy did it first and did it biggest.
Yeah,
and now
did
that
it, Jones.
she's
She kills everything she
officially
touches.
definitively stepped down as president of Lucasfilm, to the relief of literally dozens of Star Wars fans that are still
thank
invested.
God. But like, it's too late, I think. I think it's way too late. I think it's just fucking dead. They wanted new audience. This is the same thing with WoW. They wanted the women to buy the fucking Baby Yoda toys, and they don't give a shit about the fans, and they're just like, yeah, just kill it. Give them marketable plushie, and that's all we need.
And beginning her extended walk into the wilderness of retirement, it seems like the right time to make...
She tanked every Lucasfilm IP. I'm gonna be honest, George Lucas kind of tanked every Lucasfilm's IP. Let's not forget that he went and started changing every fucking thing in Star Wars and shit, and adding a bunch of horrible CGI, like, scenes and shit, like, before all this. Like, he was running it into the ground. But she fucking accelerated it into the ground.
I hope will be my last ever video on this subject. Because if anyone deserves a crash and burn, it's her. Not so much because she nuked her own career and torched her own legacy. We'll get to that in due course though.
Damage not destroyed. The prequels weren't that bad.
But because she managed to burn down literally everything around her.
First two prequel films are trash. They kind of are. There's the thing. This is the thing about the prequels, okay? I didn't give a fuck about the prequels until I read Star Wars books. And got, like, way more invested in, like, the lore of the universe that you don't really get from all the movies. But, like, once I got, like, more invested in the lore of Star Wars, the prequels got a lot better. Because the first two prequels are a lot of lore and shit going on that's not necessarily related to, like, Jedi and all kinds of shit. It's just, there's a lot going on. And, like, the politics of the world, right? Which is interesting, but only fat retards like me that read the books. Did you watch Clone Wars animations? No, I never did watch that. I meant to, but I never got around to it.
Devastated IPs in her wake, while somehow holding on to power as head of one of the biggest studios in the business. Perhaps the greatest example of failing upwards that Hollywood's ever seen.
Prequel films had the best
Believe
lightsaber
me,
fights.
It's
That's
seen
true.
a lot. So grab your bargain bin Rey Skywalker action figure and let's embark on Crash.
Disney vs. Star Wars books are woke and gay. I didn't read any of the new ones. They had all these fucking books that were awesome, and then when Disney got a hold of Star Wars, they literally said all those books that were actually canon. They said the books were canon before. They were like, all these books that were canon, they're not canon anymore. They literally just cut off all this shit that was, like, built up over years and written well and, like, extended the universe and were fucking, like, good books. Like, the Darth Plagueis books are awesome. The Rule of Two books are fucking rad, dude. With, like, Darth Bane. I listened to those so many times. They're, like, audiobooks when I was working at, like, the car part factory. I listened to, like, so many of those. Those are so good. The fucking... Oh, God, what's the Admiral books? The Admiral Thrall books? Or Thrawn? I can't even remember his name. But those books are fucking awesome. They're so good. They made such a good character, and then they had to kill him because he was too strong and smart. And so they had to, like, nerf him in the last one, which is the only complaint. But the rest of the time, it was awesome. When the extended universe was controlled by Lucas, he had somebody whose job it was to check all new media to see if it matched up with the existing timeline. If it became a canon. Yeah, they were so good. So many. There was even a fucking book that was like, it was Darth Maul gets sent on a mission to a prison planet, so it's Darth Maul in prison just fighting people. Like, that's all the book is. And it's fucking awesome. It's just action from page one. Just Darth Maul getting into brawls, punching people, like all kinds of shit. And then he has to do like a prison escape. Like, it's fucking rad. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's good. There's horror books where they had to fucking like send stormtroopers to basically a Warhammer planet, and it became like a horror book where they're getting fucking destroyed. There's so many good books. So many awesome Star Wars books, and they just threw them all out when fucking Disney got a hold of it.
Burn. The Kathleen Kennedy story. Kennedy was born in 1953 in Berkeley, California. One of three
Check
daughters
the AI
of
in your
Kennedy,
Discord.
a judge.
Why am I so fat? What is all this fucking trash, dude? What the hell is this? Why did it add a lamp? Where did this come from? What the fuck is this? I don't have that much trash in my room, okay? That's not true. Fucking stop playing it. Fuck you guys. Stop making me kiss Jeffrey Epstein. What the fuck?
And Dionne Marie,
Why
a
did the AI
part-time
make him
theatre
thinner?
actress. After majoring in telecommunications and film studies at university, she soon found work at a local TV station in San Diego as a camera operator, floor manager, and eventually a production coordinator. It was clear though that if she wanted to progress in the business, she'd have to move to LA, which she did in 1978, and soon landed her first job as a production assistant to John
Free now, go
Milius,
home,
who at
bag
the time
boo.
was overseeing Steven Spielberg's troubled comedy movie 1941. Basically, her job was to take notes, run errands, and make coffee. Three things that she was spectacularly bad at.
I was gonna say, that's what a lot of intro jobs are like, but apparently she couldn't even get that right.
Notes, run errands, and make coffee. Three things that she was spectacularly bad at.
I remember Kathy came into the room with her steno pad and her pencil, and she was horrible at taking notes, and she was terrible at, she didn't really know how to do it very well. But what she did know how to do was interrupt somebody in mid-sentence. We'd be pitching ideas back and forth, and Kathy, who's supposed to be writing these ideas down, suddenly put her pencil down and would say something like, and what if he didn't get the girl, but instead he got the dog?
What? What the fuck are you talking about? Awful woman ideas. Like, she wasn't good at taking notes. What she was good at was interrupting people in a conversation. Amazing. Fucking incredible.
It's something like,
Bitch thought her opinion mattered. Many such cases.
what if he didn't get the girl, but instead he got the dog?
Right.
Spielberg, though, for whatever reason,
Shut
took
up.
a
Women
liking
are
to her and
retarded.
hired
Tell me
her as
something
his
new.
personal assistant for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, she might have been shit at taking notes, but to her credit, she was organised, diligent, and efficient, able to solve problems and mediate disagreements. She
Okay.
soon rose through the ranks to become an associate producer on Poltergeist, and finally a full-on producer
Poltergeist was such a good movie.
for E.T. in 1982. Not bad for a 29-year-old. The pattern for her career was
Talk
now
about
set,
failing
and she would act
upwards.
as producer for nearly all of Spielberg's movies for the next 30 years. She wasn't what you would call a creative
Dinner
person
Slut, how's it
because
going?
she
Hello?
didn't really need to be. Her job was to facilitate other people's creative visions, organize logistics, overcome all the problems and hurdles that cropped up along the way. It
Be a secretary. She was a secretary.
might not have been sexy or exciting work, it wasn't the sort of thing the general public ever got to see, but it was important and it won her a lot of respect in the industry. She was a project manager basically, and to be fair, she was good at it. Her work on the Indiana
George Lucas' input was almost always, that's pretty cool, but what if we made the alien green instead of blue? I mean, see, that's a good idea. What if we made it green instead of blue? That's better than what she said.
Jones movies also brought her into the orbit of two other men who would turn out to be cornerstones of her career, George Lucas and Frank Marshall. In the case of the first man, they became close colleagues and friends and stayed that way for decades. Maybe not so much
She's logistics. It's sometimes the most important job, but never mistake it for leadership material. But that's the fucking thing. It's like, what is that like labor theory where it's like, people get promoted until they're no longer good at the job? right? That fucking thing where it's like, if you're really good at a position, you get promoted to like the next thing, and then once you find a job you actually suck at, then you don't get promoted anymore. So you fucking go to the position you're worst at, and then you stop, and you're stuck there. The Peter principle. Yeah, that. Because Peter's a dick. Well, it's kind of fucking true. It's like, if you're good at stacking cups, and then they're like, oh, this guy's so good at the fucking stacking cups industry, let's make him in charge of ordering the cups. But then you're a fucking slobbering retard. Maybe you don't know how to order cups. Yeah, you get promoted to your maximum level of incompetency. Yeah. It's kind of fucking true.
Today, though, and in the case of the latter, they were married by 1987. As you can probably imagine, having close personal relationships with three of the most powerful and respected men in the business did wonders for her career, and by the mid-90s she was regarded as one of the most influential producers in the industry. She even co-founded Amblin Entertainment with Spielberg and the Kennedy Marshall production company with her husbands. All good stuff.
Her husbands.
And if she continued on this course of producing and overseeing individual movies, she probably would have had a stellar career and retired as the single most successful
That was a
female
VTuber
producer
hat?
ever.
Wait, what? A VTuber hat. This?
Regarded as one of the most influential producers in the industry. She even co-founded Amblin Entertainment with Spielberg
Abnormally
and
large.
the Kennedy
Oh, okay.
Marshall production company with her husbands. All good stuff. And if she continued on this course of producing and overseeing individual movies, she probably would have had a stellar career and retired as the single most successful female producer ever. As it turned out,
My current situation, I'm good with fixing machines, can do some basic programming, completely useless in any admin role, though. Yeah, see? They fucking kept offering me, like, leadership positions when I was doing wastewater. And it's like, I don't want them, dude. Like, I have no interest in, like, running the plant from the office. Like, I like to go walk out and fucking mess with the machines and stuff. Like, I don't want to do that shit. Like, fuck, dude.
though, fate had other plans for Kathleen Kennedy. Remember George Lucas that she'd befriended back in the 1980s? Well, by 2012, he was getting old and burned out after making the Star Wars prequels and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
And drink the sewer water.
Disney
And
were
drink the
offering
sewer
to
water.
buy up Lucasfilm from him, and he was very much tempted by the offer, but what he really needed was a safe pair of hands to leave the company in. And from his point of view, Kennedy seemed like the perfect choice. He knew her
And so they immediately sold to Disney.
personally, he trusted her, and when it came to experience, there was nobody who could rival her. So, in late 2012, the
I bet Lucas regrets his decision more than any other in his life. Probably.
deal was done. Disney bought over Lucasfilm, and Kathleen Kennedy was installed as president of the company.
And it's been all downhill from
A
there.
move that few people took issue with at the time. That, however, would soon change. Things started out well, at least. J.J. Abrams, arguably the safest pair of hands in the business at the time,
I hate J.J. Abrams. I've never seen a J.J. Abrams movie that's good. I have no fucking idea. No fucking idea how he gets put in control of so many movies. Like, every fucking movie I've ever seen of J.J. Abrams is just shining the fucking light in the camera. And I hate it.
delivered a massive box
We're like,
office hit with
J.J.
The Force
Abrams, am I
Awakens,
right?
the first
So
movie in a
true.
new Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, it was just a glorified nostalgia trip and a thinly disguised rehash of A New Hope, but who cares?
Yep. That was the fucking thing. This movie came out, I went and saw it in theaters with my sister, and I was like, yeah, that's just A New Hope redone. That's all it is. That was literally it. That was it. And it was like, this is fine. Right? It was like a fucking 5, right? But oh god, the second one, I don't even remember what it's called, is like one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen, dude. I still remember Rose. Rose, this character they introduced, is the shittiest fucking character. I hate Rose, this fat Asian bitch that just interrupts everybody and ruins every moment that she's in. She was so fucking bad that the third movie came out and she was in like the first 2 minutes of the movie and then she's just gone. She just evaporated. Like the second movie, they set her up to be like the love interest of the black dude. Right? And then they're just like, and just fucking cast her off into irrelevance because no one fucking liked her. And the other thing, take Kathleen Kennedy out of this for a fucking second. For every movie of the trilogy, of like the latest trilogy, they had like different writers and directors. No wonder! It's fucking none of it connected together, and it was a shitty trilogy. No one fucking there was no continuity, because it's all different writers and fucking directors and shit. None of them had, like, the same vision. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, what the fuck? Like, who planned this shit, dude?
Star Wars was back, baby, and it was bigger than ever. The following year, Rogue One proved that Star Wars could release spin-offs and prequels to the main
I didn't watch Rogue One.
story that were still financially viable.
Yeah, they were just
allowing
throwing
them to
shit at a
potentially
wall.
kickstart an entire cinematic universe just like the MCU. Unfortunately, the good times weren't to last.
Lucas left them a roadmap for where to take the next few movies, and they threw it out. Of course they did. Fucking.
See, going from producer on specific film projects where you have very clearly defined tasks, objectives, and responsibilities to head.
I keep pausing this. Fuck it. A lot of problem with the second movie is the director went out of his way to subvert expectations, which is why he destroyed every plot thread the first movie tried to make. Sounds right. The fucking stupid long neck bitch, the admiral that was super fucking annoying. And then they went to, like, a horse race, and Rose is like, they're exploiting the horses, capitalism bad. And then even the black guy tried to, like, sacrifice himself and have, like, a hero moment, and she literally pushed him out of the way and fucked that up too. God, I hate Rose. I fucking hate Rose with a passion. She is the worst character I've ever seen in, like, a movie, dude.
Head of an entire studio that was centered around one man's creative vision is a pretty big leap that demands a whole new set of skills. Skills that Kathleen Kennedy absolutely didn't have.
Like, you guys know how bad my memory is, and I hate this bitch so much that I remembered her name.
What she needed was a strong creative vision for where she wanted to take the franchise and how she was going to get it there. She needed to plan and map out release schedules for multiple films with directors and writers that were actually suited to the project.
In Discord, we should watch the latest trilogy again just to see if it's still as shitty as we all remember. We should have a hate watch night.
In hand, she needed to keep people on track, monitor progress, and juggle multiple projects at the same time.
Fuck that, no one will watch.
She needed to be a leader now,
Come
not
on.
a facilitator. And this is where it all started to go wrong.
I hate it up. See, this fucking thing. This stormtrooper, I can't even remember, which seemed super interesting, I think this is the one, was like some woman, and was like actually like cool, right? And people were like, oh shit. And then like even they fucking that up, like the fucking even spreading the message, Captain Phasma, yeah, even like spreading the message and having a very interesting female character, they fucked that one up too. It's like, God, they just had no idea how to do anything, dude. She was a badass evil woman. She was.
Leader now,
that's
not
what you
a
need, Bags. More right to
and
do.
This is where it all started to go wrong. Kennedy had hired up-and-coming director Rian Johnson to write and direct The Last Jedi, the second movie in the sequel trilogy. Unlike JJ though, who was all about nostalgia and fan service, Rian was determined to shake.
The stupid bitch had an entire extended universe for 3 book series. All they had to do was pick one and throw Disney money at the guy. They stick to the story. They would have had movies for decades. Yeah, if they would have just done the like Admiral Thrawn like trilogy and made a movie about it, it would have been fucking rad. Didn't they add Thrawn into, like, one of their fucking series or something? One of the cartoons? But, like, if they would have just been like, hey, let's take these books that are fucking awesome and super highly regarded by everyone in the fandom and just kind of follow it beat for beat, and it's got one of the most memorable, like, fucking antagonist of all time, right? And everyone fucking loves it. Why don't we just do that? Like, they had it!
Things up and subvert fan expectations.
Fucking rebels, then he was beaten by space whales that could go light speed. That sounds stupid.
Not live up to them. And boy did he ever. Throwing out
God,
JJ's
the
proposed
milk and
ideas
the weird
for
titty
sequel,
milk.
killing off most of his plot threads, and completely going into business for himself. Now, George Lucas probably would have stepped in at this point and told him he was being a fucking idiot, but the lack of a strong overarching plan for the sequels, combined with Kennedy's attitude of, just let them get on with it, ultimately...
Yeah, that's the fuck... Like, if you're got one of the most important, influential IPs in all movie history in the fucking palm of your hand, and they didn't even plan out the trilogy. Like, what... It's so crazy. They don't care. I know, but find someone that does.
doomed the movie. TLJ turned out to be the most divisive Star Wars film of all time, completely splitting the fan base into
God,
warring
it was
factions,
so bad,
and bringing in
man.
barely half of what Force Awakens had made. Worse, it introduced identity and gender politics into Star Wars in a way that had never existed before. And believe me, this was intentional.
I
One
know
of
it
Kennedy's
was.
goals with Star Wars was to increase female representation on screen in the
And they fucking did it by making the most annoying fucking characters.
belief that not only would the franchise retain the inbuilt male audience, they'd also attract a brand new female audience that had been put off until now. A modern
audience. Yeah, that's what they did with the fucking Baby Yoda. Like, my sister, I remember this. My sister used to make fun of me for liking Star Wars and watching it on VHS when I was a kid. And guess what? Then that stupid show came out, and she got the Baby Yoda. It's like, God damn it.
audience, you might say. The devil, though, is in the detail, and no idea can survive bad execution.
Yoda should have been
Suddenly,
aborted.
people were hyper-aware of
Is your sister
overpowered,
single? No, she's
overbearing
married.
girl boss characters like Rey, Holdo, and Rose Tico, and they didn't like them. Kennedy's decision to take part in the
I'm gonna be honest. Even though Rey is like a DEI character, I didn't mind her that much, but they fucking made her Mary Sue by the end of the fucking thing and could never let her lose. And her character development was so fucking stupid. I wanted Finn to be the Jedi. Because they set him up in the first movie to be the Jedi. And it would have been cool to go from Stormtrooper to Jedi. To go from working for the Empire to now you work for the light side. And they fucked it up. Finn as the Jedi made more sense too. It did. So we're just female Luke Skywalker or something, but stronger. Luke Skywalker, but more wise and stronger and can't do any wrong.
and Rose Tico, and they didn't like them. Kennedy's decision to take part in the Force's female campaign for Nike in 2017, combined with
So
her obvious
cringy, man.
feminist sensibilities, instantly put her in the firing line. For most detractors of the
Finn
sequel
can't be a
trilogy,
Jedi
she
'cause
became
China.
the big bad of Star Wars.
So they want women?
An unqualified diversity hire promoted to a job she didn't earn, presiding over
Can't believe
a
they
franchise
rewrote
she
Finn
didn't
so the
build,
movie would
and
sell in China. I mean, that's probably the case. That's probably actually the case. But even still, I don't think they fucking want to deal with Rey either.
killing everyone's fun by populating it with annoying, unlikable self-insert power fantasies. Solo, the
Rose.
next spin-off movie in the Star Wars cinematic universe, bombed in spectacular fashion, partly driven by the ongoing backlash against TLJ. There would be no more spin-off movies after that.
Yep.
The great Ryan Johnson...
That was the second movie was so bad that they needed 2 movies afterwards. They needed the next movie to basically fix all the fuck-ups of the second movie, and then the 4th movie would have been able to continue it. But they were like, well, we have to make it a trilogy. Even though they had no plan for a fucking trilogy, they had no idea what they were doing. Like, there's nothing in the law that says, well, it can only be a trilogy. You have to do 3 movies, not 4. And, like, that's what they needed to do. They needed an extra movie to just fix all the fuck-ups of the second one. And they couldn't do it.
Failed. The Star Wars cinematic universe was stopped.
Oh my god, this fucking shit, this stupid fucking...
And now they needed to get back to safer territory for the final movie.
Rose was written out because China was upset at a Chinese woman romancing a black man. Well, she was also just the fucking annoyingest character ever. She was the most piece of shit annoying character that literally ruined every scene that she was in. So, China, thank you for saving us from having to see her again.
J.J. Abrams was coaxed back to tell a story he didn't really want to tell, desperately trying to undo the damage done by TLJ, only to produce an absolute Frankenstein's monster of a film in Rise of Skywalker.
Yup.
Reviews were terrible, the fans were disgusted, and the film barely cleared $1 billion at the global box office.
See, that's the fucking thing. Barely cleared $1 billion. Like, they're still like, it was a success.
a cry from the success of The Force Awakens. With the movie business in tatters, Kennedy and
Weird
Lucasfilm
China
retreated
W.
to TV, where they scored a surprise hit with The Mandalorian, mostly because it had Jon Favreau at the helm. The success wasn't to last,
And Baby Yoda.
though, and failures like Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi failed to capitalize on its success. Lucasfilm by this point was rapidly descending into chaos. New Star Wars projects were announced to huge fanfare, only to go nowhere and quietly fizzle out without explanation. By now, Kennedy was raiding the cupboards at Lucasfilm in search of anything she could use to prop the company up. Willow, a 1980s fantasy movie, was brought back in a baffling TV show about a pair of lesbians so
Huh? When the fuck did that happen?
disastrously awful that Disney ended up scrubbing it from their servers and memory holing it. To the
I don't even remember. What? When the fuck did they do that? I don't even remember that happening.
at Lucasfilm in search of anything she could use to prop the company up. Willow, a 1980s fantasy movie, was brought back in a baffling TV show about a pair of lesbians so
That one's the Acolyte? Oh.
disastrously awful that Disney ended up scrubbing it from their servers and memory holing it. To this day, there's no legal way to view it online. Indiana Jones was defrosted for one last adventure,
Oh my
mostly
God.
in the hopes of replacing him with a younger female alternative.
They already tried to replace him with Shia LaBeouf and Crystal Skull.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
It didn't work, and despite massively expensive reshoots to try to fix it, the movie flopped at the box office. The
I didn't
biggest
watch this one.
humiliation for Kennedy was yet to come, though. The
Still mad
Acolyte,
about that
a show
movie.
that will live in Star Wars infamy as long as Hollywood exists. A pair of strong, diverse female leads, lesbian space
No, I think the Willow was a show. The Acolyte is something different.
witches, weak men getting humiliated. It was all there, and it was all terrible. And in a way, it represents the final form of Kennedy's vision for Star Wars, and it was utterly eviscerated by everyone. The
fucking
backlash
God.
was so bad that even Disney had to step in and promise not to make any more. Now, if you're
Did they promise not to make any more?
spotting a theme here of Kennedy resurrecting old IPs and using them as a launchpad for diverse new girl boss replacements, then believe me, you're not alone.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
She'd gambled some of the biggest franchises in Hollywood history on the modern audience, and wow, did
There's no modern audience. It doesn't exist. No one wants to see this shit.
she lose big. To paraphrase Chris Gore, she took boy brands that everyone could enjoy and turned them into girl brands that nobody enjoyed. Men felt excluded and disrespected, and women felt patronized and pandered to. The modern audience had failed to show up, and the existing audience was abandoning ship. Kennedy's greatest gamble had failed, and inevitably it all finally caught up with her. For years there had been rumors of her retirement, false starts and conspiracy theories, but
Just
one
get
thing
rid
was
of her.
obvious. Kennedy wasn't going anywhere until she was damn well good and ready. And on January
Until she
15th,
ruins
the day
everything.
finally came. Kathleen Kennedy was stepping down as president of Lucasfilm. You might have expected joyous celebrations at news like this, but the reaction
Seeing all this shit is just making me want to go watch all the old movies again and reread all the good books and just remember what once was and how good it was and how they fucking ruined it.
was more like an exhausted acknowledgement from the
And I'm
fans.
just gonna piss myself
After all,
off.
What was really left to celebrate at this point? She was gone, sure, but she left behind her a studio in absolute shambles, all of its IPs drained of their goodwill and cultural reputation. There was nothing left to save from her because she'd nuked all of it. And
Yeah,
now that the dust
good,
is settled
great,
and all
good
is
job.
said and done, how will
Good job,
posterity
girl
judge
boss.
Kathleen Kennedy? Will she be remembered as one of the greatest producers in Hollywood history, or the
No,
woman who oversaw
because
the
no
biggest
one remembers or cares about producers.
act of brand destruction the industry's ever seen? She'll certainly do her best to rewrite the narrative in her favour, that's for sure, like the lengthy interview with Deadline where she focused entirely on her successes and dismissed her failures and mistakes as someone else's
Just
fault.
let it
Mostly
die.
the
No,
small
I
but
want it.
vocal
I want Star Wars. I want to go to Star Wars again, please.
of toxic Star Wars fans who just couldn't see her brilliance.
Really?
Yeah, sure, whatever helps you sleep at night, Kathy.
I wanna go
You
hear
know,
that
for someone
interview
who's
about
all
her again.
breaking barriers and challenging female stereotypes, she's not exactly dispelling the myth that women are more averse to accountability.
Just play KOTOR and KOTOR 2. You know, I never did play KOTOR 2. Maybe that's something we can play. I played the first one multiple times, and it was really good, but I never did play the second one.
self-reflection and owning their mistakes than Movie Bob is to a treadmill.
Do you have any faith in the new upcoming KOTOR game? Nope. Nope. I don't have any faith in the gaming industry at all. Star Wars or not.
Times have changed now, and paid shills and industry trades don't write the narrative on Hollywood legacies anymore. The internet does. And unfortunately for Kathleen Kennedy, the internet never forgets.
Black Flag's still on the docket, you fat homunculus.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today.
That
Go
was
away.
pretty good. That was a good video. I want to see this again. This fucking...
Make coffee. 3 things that she was spectacularly bad at.
I remember Kathy came into the room with her steno pad and her pencil, and she was horrible at taking notes, and she was terrible at, she didn't really know how to do it very well. But what she did know how to do was interrupt somebody in mid-sentence. We'd be pitching ideas back and forth, and Kathy, who's supposed to be writing these ideas down, suddenly put her pencil down and would say something like, and what if he didn't get the girl, but instead he got the dog?
Right.
It's like, this stupid bitch couldn't even write. Fucking goddamn.